welcome back. So what we're looking at today is 6-1 multiplying decimals by 10, 100, or 1000. So this is going to be a bit of mental math for you. So what is the rule for multiplying decimals by 10, 100, or 1000? A baker needs to purchase 10 pounds of pecans and 100 pounds of flour. Recall that 10 equals 10 to the first power, and 100 equals 10 to the second power. How much will the baker spend for each ingredient? So flour is 45 cents per pound and pecans are $2.89 per pound. So we can use the patterns in this table to find 45 times 10 to the second and 289 times 10 to the first. So standard form 10, exponential form 10 to the first. So going back to our exponential forms and expanded forms. So you got to make sure you know these. Example, 45 times 10 to the first equals 4.5. It moved our decimal back 1. 100, which is 10 squared, and 0.45 times 10 to the second gives us 45. It moved it 2 back. Notice 2 for an exponent, moved it 2 back. And then we have standard form 1000, exponential form 10 to the third, 0.45 times 10 to the third, 450, which means it moved it 3 back. So the relationship here, when we're multiplying a decimal by any multiple of 10, so 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, so on and so forth, the number of times we move our decimal is going to be however many zeros we have in our problem. So if it's 10, we have 1 0, we move it once. If it's 100, we have 2 zeros, we move it twice. If it's 1,000, we have 3 zeros, we move it 3 times, so on and so forth. So that's the relationship here. So when we have it in the exponential form, it tells us, that exponent tells us how many times we need to move our decimal. So if 100 pounds or 1,000 pounds of pecans needed to be purchased, the pattern can be continued to find the cost. So 100 pounds, and let me double check again what the pecan value was. Pecans were $2.89. Okay. So pecans were the $2.89. So if we multiply it by 100, it moves our decimal 2 places. So that means it'd be $289. For 1,000, it's going to move it 1, 2, 3 places. So we're going to have $2,890 for 1,000 pounds of pecans. That's a lot of pounds of pecans. So using this pattern, it makes it easier to take and multiply. So, we have 0.009, so 9 thousandths times 10. Well, we're multiplying by 10, which means we're moving the decimal place 1 spot. So we're going to go 1 spot over. So our answer is 0, maybe 0.09, because we moved our decimal over here. So now we just need 0.09. That's our answer. All right, for the next one, we have 4.5 times 10. Once again, we have 1 0, we have 10. So we move the decimal place over 1. So we have 45. Here we have 10 to the third, which means we need to move our decimal 3 times. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, the first one we had a number for, but these last two, there's nothing. So that means we have 3,100. I apologize for the weird lines. So we add in those zeros when it takes it further than the digits we have. All right, 7.4 times 10 to the first. So we move it once. So we end up with 74. We have 0.062 times 100. So we have 1, 2. So we move it twice. So 1, 2. So we get 6.2. Here we have 1.24 times 10 to the third. We have a 3, which means we move it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So we get 1,240 because we have to add in a 0 because it went past the digits we had. So your homework is going to be a worksheet for these. So this should be fairly easy. This is like mental math. You're taking and just moving that decimal point depending on what you're multiplying by. So what 10, 100, 1,000. That'll tell you how many places you move your decimal, the number of zeros in it, or what the exponent says. So these are all multiples or factors, multiples of 10. So it's the tens we're looking at multiplying by. So tens is your keyword for this lesson, okay? So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a great day, guys.